That is first one, that is a temporal parallelism. Second one, that is a data parallelism. So now we are going to discuss the difference between these two methods. All other methods are, you can say that, are subpart of this main two methods. We will see one chart also, we will see one graph also, that how these methods are divided. But right now let's discuss that what is the main difference between these two. All other methods, method number 3, that is a dynamic assignment. Method number 4, that is a, so all these other methods that we have discussed, QSI dynamic assignment. This is method number 5 that we have discussed. That is again sub part of data parallelism. This method number 4, that is a dynamic assignment. That is again sub part of this data parallelism. Then method number 3, that is a combination of this both temporal parallelism and data parallelism. And this is a main method, that is the data parallelism, method number 2, and method number 1, that is a temporal parallelism, or you can say that pipelining. So we are going to discuss over here today what is the main difference between temporal parallelism and data parallelism. What is the difference between these two? So as you are already aware about, we have already learned these methods. So method number 1, what we are doing in method number 1. So job is divided into a set of subtasks. It means that there are 4 questions to be evaluated in answer book. So question number 1 will be evaluated by teacher number 1. Then that answer book will be passed to the next teacher. So that is teacher number 2 will check question number 2. So like that, the pipelining. So your task is divided, your job is divided into set of independent tasks, and tasks are assigned for processing. Over here, full jobs are assigned. We will not divide it into individual tasks, but we will divide into set of jobs. It means that 250, 250, 250 answer books. And then these 250 answer books are assigned for parallel processing. So that is in data parallelism. So that is the first difference between this both temporal parallelism and data parallelism. Next, that is a task over here. In this task, should take equal time. Each and every subtask which you have divided, that it take equal time. So it means that there will require pipelining stages, require synchronization between teacher number 1 as well as teacher number 2 as well as teacher number 3 and teacher number 4. So that is in individual elements should be in synchronization. Pipeline stages should be in synchronized. While over here there is no need for synchronization because they are performing independent jobs. The jobs may take different times and no need to synchronize. That is synchronization की यहाँ पे कोई जरूरत नहीं है. Then bubble problem. So in our example, if suppose most of the questions are unanswered, then there will be the bubble. It means that suppose question number 2 कोई student ने नहीं लिखा है, then the teacher will remain ideal. वो वहां पे बैठा रहेगा, वो 5 मिनट उसकी वेस्ट होगी. So that is a bubble will be there. So bubble is creating a problem. Bubble in jobs will lead to the ideal of the particular processor or particular teacher. But over here there will be no bubble, because if you have not answered any particular question, then that particular question will be evaluated, particular answer book will be evaluated much faster. So that is bubble do not cause any problem over here. Then processor specialize to do a specific task. So यहाँ पे जो मैंने आपको बताया था आंसर नंबर 1, आंसर नंबर 2, आंसर नंबर 3 and answer number 4. In our example, suppose 4 answers, and that is checked by individual teachers. So that teachers will be specialized in this particular area, in this particular domain. So processors should be specialized in this particular domain. Space processors should be specialized to the specific task only. So that will be efficiently work. Over here, processors should be not specialized only. That it should be general purpose processor. So it means that it should have knowledge of all these 4 domain. So that is a general purpose registers, general purpose processor should be there, or general purpose teacher, which is having, or that particular teacher should have knowledge of all the 4 domain. So that is not every job is efficiently. So it might be possible that that particular teacher who is performing this particular task, evaluating answer, it is might be possible that that particular teacher does not have knowledge of all the four domain fully. Partially, that particular person can have, but fully. So that is over here little bit disadvantage over here in terms of efficiency. Next, task assignment over here in temporal parallelism, that is a static task assignment. So यहाँ पे कोई dynamic method हमने study नहीं की थी. That is only one method we have studied, and that method is a static method. One by one answer book we will pick up, and one answer will be evaluated. Then answer book will be passed to the next faculty. So that is a static assignment. While in data parallelism, we have seen method number 4 and 5. So that is a dynamic and quasi dynamic assignment. And method number 2 itself is static assignment. So static assignment, dynamic assignment, as well as quasi dynamic assignment is possible in this data parallelism. Then fault tolerance. So this particular pipelining does not have fault tolerance. It means what? अगर यहाँ पे कोई एक टीचर जो there are 4 teachers and if one teacher will stand up and go for the coffee, if you are using 4 processor and if your one processor is failed, then your whole system will be failed. Your whole system will be there in waiting mode. So that is a not fault tolerant. Over here, if one teacher is fail, if your one processor is fail, then also all 3 teachers, other 3 teachers will be there. They continuously evaluate your answer book. Yes, but it will affect your overall process of result जो final result आपको देना है पूरा 1000 स्टूडेंट का, वहां पे कभी कुछ लेट हो सकता है, टाइम it may take more time, but overall it is fault tolerant as compared to this temporal parallelism. So यहाँ पे आप fault tolerate कर सकते हो, यहाँ पे fault tolerate नहीं हो सकता है. So that is a method number, that is a difference number 6. Then next difference, efficient with fine grain task. Fine grain task means small task. If your tasks are small, if you are dividing task into very small parts, in very small chunks, then that will be effectively handled by this particular method. And if you will divide your particular task in chunks, in lots of, you can say that big groups. So that is a coarse grain task. So coarse grain task will be efficiently handled in this particular method, and particularly in quasi dynamic assignment, dynamic scheduling. So in quasi dynamic scheduling, we are not assigning single answer book. We are assigning bulk of answer book, 5, 7, 9 randomly. So that is coarse grain assignment. You can say that is you are dividing your job into coarse grain. So coarse grain task assignment is there. And then last difference is, that is over here, if scales, how it will scale up. If you are having more number of jobs, so it will scale well as long as the number of data items to be processed is much larger than the number of processor in the pipelining. So अगर आपके पास 4 processor है and if you are having 1000 jobs to do, then this will be efficient. But suppose आप यहाँ पे 200 processor लगाओगे 1000 answer book के लिए, then this will be not efficient because 200 processor उसको intercommunication के लिए, इसको synchronization के लिए यहाँ पे problem आएगा. So it scales well as long as the number of data items, so number of data item means number of answer books that are thousands, much larger than the number of processors. So number of processor in first case, that is a 4. In second case, let's say that 200 teachers. So in first case, it will be more efficient as compared to in this second case. So that is scale well as long as the number of processor is there. So time taken to communicate task from one processor to another processor is negligible. यहाँ पे हम ये point consider करेंगे. And what is over here? It scales well as long as the number of jobs are much greater than the number of processors, and processing time is much higher than the time to distribute the data to the particular processor. So इसका meaning क्या है? जो 250 आंसर बुक्स जो हम डिवाइड करते हैं, यहाँ पे क्या करते हैं, 250 का सेट हम बनाते हैं. सो वो 250 सेट्स जो हम बनाते हैं इन मेथड नंबर 2, so if that time is negligible, or you can say that whenever you are using dynamic scheduling, then assigning answer book to the one faculty and coming back and taking back from that faculty, if that time is negligible, then this particular method is also scales well, will perform well in that particular scenario. So this all are the differences between temporal parallelism and data parallelism. 8 differences are there. So is there any doubt? Is it clear? Is it clear? Okay, let me explain again. Let me explain point number 7 once again. What is the point number 7? Point number 7 is, it says that efficient with fine grain. Now, first of all, you should have knowledge of this grain. What is meaning of fine grain and what is the meaning of coarse grain? Fine grain means if you will divide your task, if you will divide, that is in general terminology. I am explaining it right now. First of all, suppose if you will consider as a address. So in some of the form, जब आप कोई जो है कहीं पे एड्रेस लिखते हो, तो कुछ फॉर्म में आपको ऐसे लिखता हो, आपको ऐसे मेंशन किया होगा, एड्रेस लाइन नंबर 1, एड्रेस लाइन नंबर 2 एंड एड्रेस लाइन नंबर 3. So that is, your address are divided into 3 line, and that is a broad division. So you can consider that example as a coarse grain. But in some forms, in some kind of forms, you will find that address is specified in terms of like your house number, your street number, then your particular area name, then your nearby place name, well-known place name, then a road or what is a nearby road, so like that, and then city, then state, like that. So that is, you can say that you have divided your address in fine grain. And if it is just address line number 1, address line number 2, address line number 3, then that is a division like coarse grain division. So that is in general terms. Same way in our processor, in our this example, in our paper checking example, if you will consider that, so we are dividing over here in answer book. आंसर बुक को भी हम कैसे डिवाइड करते हैं, क्वेश्चन नंबर 1, क्वेश्चन नंबर 2, क्वेश्चन नंबर 3, क्वेश्चन नंबर 4, like that. So that is a fine grain division. So if you can divide your task in such small part, then this particular method will efficient. So that is, if this kind of division is possible, then temporal parallelism is efficient. But if that kind of division is not possible, if you can divide it into bulk, if your division is coarse grain, then this method is efficient, data parallelism is efficient. So that is method number, that is a difference number 7. Okay, is it clear? Are you getting this or not? Yes or no? Please reply in chat. Are you getting this? Only one student is attending this lecture or what? Okay. Okay, so next method, method number 6. So we have seen 5 methods. Next method, method number 6, that is a specialist data parallelism. So it is again data parallelism technique. Data parallelism की technique है. So what we will do over here, यहाँ पे हम क्या करेंगे? So we will, so यहाँ से one by one answer book will be taken by your head examiner from input file, and then it will assign to your particular teacher. So first answer, let's say that roll number 1, answer book of roll number 1 has been assigned to teacher number 1. But teacher number 1, what teacher number 1 will do, it will just evaluate only answer number 1. अब यहाँ पे वो complete answer book है वो evaluate नहीं करेगा. It will just evaluate only your answer number 1. Then it will hand over this answer book to the head examiner again. Then head examiner will check now how many answer books, how many answers are remaining, how many questions are not evaluated, question number 2, question number 3, and question number 4. So question number 2, अभी इवेल्युएट होना बाकी है, तो वो पर्टिकुलर आंसर बुक किसको देगा? सो दैट पर्टिकुलर आंसर बुक विल बी हैंडेड ओवर टू द, सो रोल नंबर 1 की आंसर बुक अब किसके पास जाएगी? रोल नंबर 1 की आंसर बुक अब जाएगी टीचर नंबर 2 के पास। टीचर नंबर 2 कौन सा आंसर उसमें इवेल्युएट करेगा? कौन सा क्वेश्चन इवेल्युएट करेगा? ओनली क्वेश्चन नंबर 2। सेम वे क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 इवेल्युएट करने के बाद वो आंसर बुक वापस वो हेड एग्जामिनर को देगा। सेम वे वो अब हेड एग्जामिनर उसमें ऑब्जर्व करेगा। अभी इसमें क्वेश्चन नंबर 3 क्वेश्चन नंबर 4 इवेल्युएट होना बाकी है, सो क्वेश्चन नंबर 3 इवेल्युएट करने के लिए वो थर्ड टीचर को वो आंसर बुक हैंड ओवर करेगा। एंड सेम वे उसमें वो थर्ड टीचर क्वेश्चन नंबर 3 इवेल्युएट करके वो आंसर बुक वापस रिटर्न करेगा। एंड सेम वे नाउ क्वेश्चन नंबर 4 इज रिमेनिंग, सो क्वेश्चन नंबर 4 इवेल्युएट करने के लिए वो टीचर नंबर 4 को आंसर बुक हैंड ओवर करेगा। एंड सेम वे teacher number 4 will return it. So up all the questions are answered or the questions are evaluated. So head examiner will make total and it will place it into output pile. So that is for one answer book. Now at a time there are 4 teachers, so यहाँ पे वो क्या करेगा? At a time it will pick up 4 answer books. So at a time ये 4 आंसर बुक्स यहाँ पे पिकअप करेगा। पहली आंसर बुक इसको देगा, दूसरी आंसर बुक इसको देगा, तीसरी आंसर बुक, and fourth answer book will be given to the fourth teacher. And from respective answer book, respective teacher will evaluate only that particular question. So वो particular question ही वो evaluate करेगा. It will not evaluate other question. So teacher number 2 will evaluate only question number 2. Teacher number 3 will evaluate only question number 3. उसको जो भी आंसर बुक मिलेगी उसमें से वही वो evaluate करेगा। उसके पास उसका ही नॉलेज है। Other questions that particular teacher cannot evaluate. So one by one, so ऐसे एक एक क्वेश्चन इवेल्युएट करके वो आप हेड एग्जामिनर को वापस प्रोवाइड करता जाएगा। एंड हेड एग्जामिनर विल हैंड ओवर इट टू द न्यू आंसर बुक। यहाँ से इसको दूसरी आंसर बुक उसको हैंड ओवर करेगा। So at the end of some time, this 4 answer book will be completed, and then it will be goes to the output file. Then again pick up the next answer book, set of answer books like that. So the method is like this. So give one answer book to each teacher. So remark that teacher TI can correct only the answer QI. So now when a corrected script is returned by the teacher to the head examiner, then head examiner will check if answers to all questions are graded or corrected, evaluated. If yes, then make sum, add marks and put it into the script, put this particular script, this answer book to the output file. But if no, if all questions are not marked, if all questions are not evaluated, then check which questions is not graded and then assign it. Then for that particular question, for say let's say that question number 3 is not checked in particular answer book, then it will check whether this teacher number 4. So if question number 3 is ungraded and then teacher 3 is ideal right now, so teacher 3 is ideal, then send this answer book to that particular teacher, that is a teacher number 3. Or if all other teachers, let's say that particular teacher number 4 is ideal right now, teacher number 4 अभी ऐसे ही बैठा हुआ है, तो हेड एग्जामिनर क्या करेगा? यहाँ से नहीं एक आंसर बुक उठाएगा और एंड it will handed over to the teacher number 4. So teacher number 4 will evaluate only question number 4 from this. या उसके पास इसके पास हेड एग्जामिनर के पास जो भी अनचेक आंसर बुक्स है उसमें से वो चेक करेगा, इसमें से क्वेश्चन नंबर 4 कौन से पेपर का बाकी है, वो क्वेश्चन नंबर 4 वो पर्टिकुलर आंसर बुक इसको असाइन कर देगा। इफ दैट पर्टिकुलर टीचर इज आइडियल, सो इफ पर्टिकुलर टीचर इज आइडियल, देन आंसर पेपर रिमेन्स इन द इनपुट फाइल विथ particular question, particular answer uncorrected, will send it to the particular teacher. So this is the method. So repeat this step number 2, 3, 4 until all the answer books in this input file is corrected. So script remains in the input file until there will be no script in input file. So this is a technique that is a specialist. Why it is a specialist? Because teacher number 1 will evaluate only answer number 1. Teacher number 2 will evaluate only answer number 2. So that is a specialist method. So यहाँ पे teacher होंगे वो specialist होंगे for individual answers. So that is this method number 6. So what is the advantage and what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages of this method? So what are the advantages first? What are the disadvantages first? So disadvantages are, so यहाँ पे क्या होगा, load is not balanced in this method. If one question take more time to be graded, then others will be ideal for that time. Suppose यहाँ से टीचर नंबर 1 ने एक यहाँ से 4 आंसर, यहाँ से हेड एग्जामिनर 4 आंसर बुक्स उठाई है और अभी वो चारों टीचर को दे दिया है. बट सपोज क्वेश्चन नंबर 4 ऐसा है कि उसको एवेल्यूएट होने में 10 मिनट्स लगता है, बाकी सभी क्वेश्चंस 5 मिनट्स में कंप्लीट हो जाए. सो ये पर्टिकुलर टीचर की वजह से, ये पर्टिकुलर आंसर की वजह से आपकी ओवरऑल प्रोसेस है वो डिग्रेड होगी. That is it will load is not balanced. If one question takes more time to be graded, then whole others will be ideal for that particular time. And the same problem occurs if one question is not answered by many students. So that problem is also there. That problem will be also remain there if particular question has been not answered by more than one students or many students. Then again that particular teacher has to remain ideal. वहाँ पे उसको wait करना होगा. And another disadvantage is the head examiner is wasting lots of time to checking whether the question has been checked or not, unanswered questions and making some. So that is head examiner will waste most of time. So it will remain busy. Head examiner आपका बहुत ज़्यादा यहाँ पे busy रहेगा. And the teachers, it might be possible that due to that other teachers who are evaluating your answer book, that will remain ideal. So that is the disadvantage. And maximum possible speed up will be not gained over here because due to this all disadvantages. So this is method number 6 and disadvantages of this method. The advantages why we have introduced this method. ये method introduce क्यों की है? कि जो previous method थी हमारी, previous method कौन सी थी? जो QCite dynamic assignment, उसमें क्या था? We are assigning bulk of papers to individual teachers. So teachers should be having knowledge of all the 4 questions. But यहाँ पे advantage क्या होगा? अगर टीचर के पास सिर्फ एक ही क्वेश्चन, एक ही डोमेन का नॉलेज है तो भी हम उसको यूटिलाइज कर सकते हैं. दैट इज द ओनली एडवांटेज. कि अगर वो टीचर के पास एक ही डोमेन का नॉलेज है फिर भी हम उसको यहाँ पे यूटिलाइज कर सकते हैं. So that is the only advantage of this method. Next method. So do you have any doubt, any query in this method number 6? Only one advantage is there. Otherwise, everything is same. Disadvantages are there. That is, we have already discussed. Is it clear? Method number 6. Method number 6 is clear. I am not getting response. Let me check. Okay. Okay, so now next method number 7. So as I have introduced this terminology, coarse grain. So what is the disadvantage of this previous method? Head examiner. Your head examiner bottleneck can be there. Suppose यहाँ पे आपका head examiner उठ के चला जाएगा कॉफी पीने के लिए, तो बाकी सभी टीचर्स यहाँ पे क्या करते रहेंगे? वेटिंग स्टेट में चले जाएंगे. So to overcome this disadvantage, what we will do now, we will not consider over your head examiner. We are having now only 4 teachers. Teacher number 1, teacher number 2. So teacher number 1, teacher number 2, teacher number 3, and teacher number 4. And they are specialists. So that is again, this is a specialist method. But यहाँ पे अब हम क्या करेंगे? Now this is the technique that is a temporal parallelism. So temporal parallelism means what? Pipelining. अब ये जो है वो पाइपलाइनिंग इंप्लीमेंट करेंगे. So previous pipelining जो method 1 हमने स्टडी की थी उसमें क्या थी? पाइपलाइनिंग थी वो sequential पाइपलाइनिंग थी. अब यहाँ पे पाइपलाइनिंग हमने क्या कर दी है? We have done it in circular manner. अब इसमें हम क्या करेंगे? What we will do over here? So each and every teacher will have 2 buffer, or you can say that 2 tray. One is in tray and second one is out tray. Each and every teacher will have two tray or two buffer, you can say that, in tray and out tray. So यहाँ पे अगर आप observe करोगे, so I have highlighted this for teacher number one. Same way, let's say that if I want to highlight it, so this is for teacher number two. Same way, let's say that this is for teacher number three. So teacher number three in tray, teacher number three out tray. And let's say that this is for teacher number four. So teacher number four in tray and teacher number four out tray. So individual teachers, each and every teacher will have in tray as well as out tray. Okay, now what we will do over here? So we will, first of all, how many answer books are there? Total we are having how many answer books? So total we are having 1,000 answer books. So we will divide this 1,000 answer books into 4 parts and put it into in tray of individual teachers. So यहाँ पे 250 आंसर बुक्स प्लेस करेंगे, यहाँ पे 250 आंसर बुक प्लेस करेंगे, यहाँ पे 250 आंसर बुक प्लेस करेंगे and यहाँ पे भी 250 आंसर बुक प्लेस करेंगे. So initially each and every teacher will receive 250 answer books. Now what individual teacher will do? It will take one answer book from this in tray and evaluate only question number one. Teacher number one is specialized only in question number one. So it will just evaluate question number one and place it into output tray. Same way, teacher number two, your particular second answer book will be taken from teacher number one and it will place it into output tray. So ऐसे यहाँ से ये जो first 250 आंसर बुक्स होगी वो यहाँ पे आउटपुट ट्रे में आएगी. किसकी आउटपुट ट्रे में? टीचर वन की आउटपुट ट्रे में. Meanwhile, in the same duration, टीचर टू क्या कर रहा होगा? So उसके पास जो आंसर बुक्स होगी कौन से रोल नंबर से? 251 से दैट रोल. So उस कौन से क्वेश्चंस इवैल्यूएट करेंगे? क्वेश्चन नंबर टू. सो क्वेश्चन नंबर टू सभी में इवैल्यूएट करके वो यहाँ से उसकी आउट ट्रे में जाएंगे. Same way, in the same duration, teacher number 3 is working on your question number 3. And what will be the set over here? Answer book set number, or you can say that roll number 501 to roll number 750. And same way, यहाँ पे teacher number 4 will operate on roll number 751 to 1000. और उसमें वो कौन से आंसर्स चेक करेगा? Question number 4. Question number 4 will be evaluated. Okay, after some amount of time, suppose हम consider करेंगे 5 minute. एक आंसर को चेक करने के लिए 5 minute लगेंगे. So after 250 into 5. So after 250 into 5. So after this amount of time, 250 into 5, that is. So after this amount of time, 5,000 minutes, what will happen? Each and every teacher has evaluated one question from 250 answer books. Now we will rotate this. अब ये rotate करेंगे. So now your teacher number 1 will observe that whether this in tray is empty or not. So यहाँ पे at the end of 5,000 minutes के end में ये in tray empty हो जाएगी. क्यों? क्योंकि इसने हर एक आंसर बुक इवेल्यूएट होके उसकी आउट ट्रे में आ जाएंगे. So at the end of 5,000 minutes, what will happen? Teacher number 1 क्या करेगा? Teacher number 1 will transfer all this answer book from its out tray to the in tray of your next teacher. So अब teacher number 2 के पास कौन सी आंसर बुक आएगी? रोल नंबर 1 से लेके रोल नंबर 250 की. So now that answer book will be there with teacher number 2. Same way, teacher number 2 क्या करेगा? It will check कि टीचर नंबर 3 की इंट्री एम्प्टी है. हाँ है. तो ये जो 251 से लेके 275 तक जो 251 से लेके 500 वो आंसर बुक अब किसके पास आएगी? टीचर नंबर 3 के पास. So like that. Same way this rotation will be over here and same way rotation will be over here. So now next set is ready. हर एक टीचर के पास next set यहाँ पे ready होगा. So यहाँ पे in tray में अब वो ready होगा and now it will again perform the same operation. One by one answer book will be taken from here. It will evaluate only the given question, assign question to him and then again put it into output file. So this is method is known as specialist temporal parallelism and coarse grain. coarse grain means why it is a coarse grain, because initially we are assigning 250 आंसर बुक बल्क में असाइन कर रहे हैं हम, यहाँ पे इंडिविजुअल आंसर बुक्स असाइन नहीं कर रहे हैं, वी आर असाइनिंग इनटू बल्क 250 आंसर बुक्स हर एक टीचर को असाइन कर रहे हैं। अगर आप एक एक आंसर बुक असाइन करते हो तो वो फाइन ग्रेन होता है, बट इफ यू आर असाइनिंग इनटू बल्क देन इट इज नोन एज coarse grain assignment. Okay, so this is coarse grain specialist temporal parallelism. So what is this? To reduce the time of each teacher for waiting, this in method number 6 जो हमारा disadvantage था, वो इन उसका disadvantage क्या था, हर एक टीचर को हेड एग्जामिनर के लिए वेट करना पड़ता था। So for finish marking we adopt this method. So यहाँ पे divide the whole set into 4 equal part and then the teacher sit in circle. Teacher will sit in circle. Every teacher has an in tray and out tray, and every teacher mark his or her questions from in tray and put this its evaluated answer book into out tray. And once the in tray is empty, wait for the in tray of the next teacher. So next teacher उसको answer book hand over करे, तब तक उसको wait करना होगा. And then once it is empty, then handed over this answer book set. So then all scripts will be graded when each teacher's out tray is filled 4 times. So यहाँ पे आप कब आपको पता कैसे चलेगा कि आंसर बुक्स आपकी चेक हो गई है या नहीं हो गई है? हर एक टीचर की जो आउट ट्रे है वो कितनी बार फिल हो जानी चाहिए? So each and every teacher's out tray should be filled by 4 times because there are 4 questions. If there are more questions, then it should be filled by more number of times. And we have divided, we are having 4 teachers over here. So 4 teachers हमारे पास है और वो 4 teachers के बीच में हम divide कर रहे हैं. So that's why out tray of each teacher should be filled 4 times. And जब लास्ट टाइम जब वो इवेल्युएट कर रहे होंगे तो वो मेथड का टोटल भी करेंगे, जितने ऑलरेडी इवेल्युएटेड क्वेश्चन है उसके जो मार्क्स ऑलरेडी दिए हुए हैं वो टोटल भी लास्ट में करेंगे जब वो लास्ट क्वेश्चन चेक कर रहे होंगे. सो इट मींस दैट जब इसके पास लास्ट सेट आएगा, जब टीचर नंबर 1 के पास लास्ट सेट आएगा, लास्ट सेट में वो क्या चेक कर रहा होगा? क्वेश्चन नंबर 1. बट at that time already question number 2, question number 3 and question number 4 are already checked. So question number 1 check भी करेगा और ये total भी करेगा. So that has been done by individual teacher also. The same way teacher number 2 भी यहाँ पे क्या करेगा? उसके पास जो भी आंसर बुक होंगे उसमें already कौन से questions check होंगे? क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 चेक होंगे, क्वेश्चन नंबर 3 चेक हो चुका होगा, क्वेश्चन नंबर 4 भी चेक हो चुका होगा. Only question 2 is remaining. So वो क्वेश्चन 2 चेक करेगा और बाकी के जो मार्क्स दिए हुए हैं उसका टोटल भी करेगा. So that is also this particular method. So that is the same thing I have explained now in terms of algorithm. So I am not repeating this step again. So this is now in terms of algorithm. So algorithm के steps में मैंने जो आपको explain किया है वही है. Step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, step number 4, step number 5. So that is what I have explained. So this is specialized parallelism, coarse grain specialized parallelism. What is the advantage over here? Processing of special tasks are done by specialized processor. So individual teachers are specialized in individual checking in individual answers. So that is the advantage. Or so student will get fair marks. The method uses the concept of pipeline processing in circular manner. So यहाँ पे हम क्या use कर रहे हैं? Pipelining ही use कर रहे हैं, but वो circular manner में use कर रहे हैं. And there is a buffering between 2 stages of pipeline. So pipelining के 2 stage में हम क्या use कर रहे हैं? यहाँ पे buffer, in tray as well as out tray. And each stage has some work to do, chunk of work to do. So अगर कोई particular questions बहुत सारे students ने नहीं लिखे होंगे, then also there will be no problem of bubble. यहाँ पे bubble का problem नहीं होगा, क्योंकि suppose question number 1 है, पहले 10 students ने नहीं लिखा हुआ, तो पहले 10 students को चेक करने के लिए सिर्फ 1 मिनट में वो 10 आंसर बुक्स चेक हो जाएगी, बट बाकी की आंसर बुक्स वो चेक करता रहेगा. So that is there will be no bubble problem will be there. Yes, after some amount of time it has to wait, but bubble problem will be not there, or you can say that minimal bubble problem will be there, and does not require strict synchronization. यहाँ पे synchronization चाहिए, but वो strict synchronization नहीं चाहिए जैसा हमारी मेथड 1 में था. मेथड 1 में हमको क्या चाहिए था? strict synchronization. हर एक फैकल्टी एक एक आंसर बुक पास करता होगा. So that is one by one answer book should be passed, and that communication should be there between teachers. But यहाँ पे bulk of answer books हमको पास करनी है. So once the 250 answer books will be evaluated, only at that time you need to synchronize. Meanwhile, you don't need to synchronize it. So that is, and tolerable bubbles due to some unanswered paper. So that is already I have explained you that bubbles can be tolerated over here if on you have not answers few of the questions. Only the disadvantage over here is, so sometimes your ideal time will increase. Suppose teacher number 2 अभी slow है, टीचर नंबर 2 स्लो है एंड टीचर नंबर 1 फास्ट है. सो टीचर नंबर 1 ने सभी 250 आंसर बुक इवैल्यूएट कर दी है, बट अभी इसकी इंट्रे टीचर 2 की इंट्रे एम्प्टी नहीं हुई है. सो टीचर 2 इसको आंसर बुक हैंड ओवर नहीं कर सकता है. सो टीचर 2 को वहां पे वेट करना होगा. सो दैट इज at that in that particular case it will remain ideal, as well as it require memory overhead. memory overhead क्यों चाहिए? क्योंकि हर एक टीचर के पास 2 बफर होने चाहिए. So that is in buffer and out buffer. So ऐसे आपके पास total 8 extra buffers होने चाहिए. So it require more memory. So memory overhead is there. So this is next method number 7. So this is method number 7, specialist coarse grain specialist parallelism. Any doubt in this? And do you have any question in this method? Only last method, that is method number 8 is remaining. So now do you have any doubt in this method number 7 first of all? Look, understand the concept of each method, because there will be numerical examples based on this, each and every method. You have to apply your own logic. Right now, we are considering it as an analogy. This same thing can be implemented for your processor also. Right now, हम ये सिर्फ एक example ले रहे हैं कि एक अगर आपकी आंसर बुक्स चेक करनी है और आप टीचर्स को कंसीडर करोगे तो ये सिर्फ एक एग्जांपल है. ऐसा आपके प्रोसेसर के लिए भी हो सकता है. आपको कोई एक टास्क परफॉर्म करना है, कोई एक प्रोसेस परफॉर्म करनी है और आपके पास 4 प्रोसेसर है, तो आपको सपोज मुझे एक एरे का मल्टीप्लिकेशन करना है और वो एरे में 1000 एलिमेंट्स है. सो कैन वी डू दिस इन पैरेलल? क्या वो एरे मल्टीप्लिकेशन आप पैरेलल में परफॉर्म कर सकते हो? एरे मल्टीप्लिकेशन आप पैरेलल में परफॉर्म कर सकते हो? एरे का एडिशन आप पैरेलल में परफॉर्म कर सकते हो या नहीं कर सकते हो? सो दैट कैन बी चेक. दैट इज, और उसको अगर पैरेलल में कर सकते हो तो कितनी मेथड्स है? हाउ मेनी मेथड्स आर देयर टू डू इट इन पैरेलल? सो next method, method number 8, that is agenda parallelism. We are learning this method with one example, that is this teacher and question answering, grading your answer books. This is not the limitation for this problem only. Problem can be anything. कोई भी problem हो सकता है. आप कोई भी problem के साथ इसको match कर सकते हो. So method number 8, that is agenda parallelism. So in this method, what we will do? In this method again we will use head examiner. So यहाँ पे head examiner क्या करेगा? So हमारे पास जो 1000 आंसर बुक्स है and 1000 आंसर बुक्स है, हमारे पास एक head examiner है and हमारे पास 4 टीचर्स है. Now यहाँ पे जो आपके टीचर्स होंगे, they are not specialized, they are generalized teacher. So वो हर एक आंसर आपके चेक कर सकते हैं. Question number 1, question number 2, question number 3, as well as question number 4. All teachers can check it. But यहाँ पे हम क्या, ये मेथड में हम क्या करेंगे? ये जो 1000 आंसर बुक्स है, so हमारे पास ये 4 टीचर्स है, टीचर नंबर 1, टीचर नंबर 2, टीचर नंबर 3 एंड टीचर नंबर 4. So हेड एग्जामिनर क्या करेगा? एक एक आंसर बुक हर एक टीचर को असाइन करेगा. इंडिविजुअल आंसर बुक विल बी असाइन्ड टू टीचर्स, ऑल द टीचर्स. And now what all teacher will do? All teacher will evaluate the same question. यहाँ पे understand this very carefully. चारों के चारों टीचर है, वो अभी कौन सा क्वेश्चन चेक करेंगे? सिर्फ क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 ही चेक करेंगे. All four teacher will check question number 1 and then handed over this answer book to again head examiner. So 4 students की आंसर बुक चेक हो गई, उसमें सिर्फ क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 चेक हुआ. फिर नेक्स्ट teacher head examiner will pick up the next 4 answer book and then so roll number 5, roll number 6, roll number 7, roll number 8 will be assigned to this. And again उसमें वो कौन से आंसर्स चेक करेंगे? So question number 1 will be checked only. So first we will finish question number 1 in all 1000 answer books. So in this method what we will do, we will first check only question number 1 in 1000 answer book. So that is the agenda parallelism. So ये method में हम क्या करेंगे? Question by question हम check करेंगे. So पहले question number 1 check करेंगे 1000 answer books के, फिर question number 2 check 1000 answer books का, and question number 3 check होगा, फिर question number 4 check होगा. So the head examiner gives one paper to each teacher and asks him to correct the first question only, question number 1. So question number 1 will be checked by all teacher. When teacher will finish that, he or she the question paper given to him or her, and then again handed over this answer book to the head examiner, and head examiner will give them the new answer book. When question number 1 of all the papers, all the 1000 papers will be checked, then we will start again, and then question number 2 will be checked. Now question हम check करेंगे. So agenda, यहाँ पे हम पहला हमारा agenda क्या होगा? What will be our first agenda? That your question number 1 should be checked. So it is like that. Suppose कोई कंपनी आपकी कोई टेस्ट ले रही है, और कंपनी में टेस्ट को आपके स्क्रूटिनाइज करने के लिए, आप स्क्रीमिंग करने के लिए, वो टेस्ट में 2 सेक्शन रखे हैं. सेक्शन 1, उसमें 4 सेक्शन है. सपोज सेक्शन 1, सेक्शन 2, सेक्शन 3 एंड सेक्शन 4. But if you will score some mark in section 1, then and then only you are eligible for, or then and then only your next sections will be evaluated, and then only you are eligible for next round. Suppose ऐसा क्राइटेरिया है आपकी कंपनी का कि उसने एक टेस्ट रखा है आपके लिए, आपकी सिलेक्शन प्रोसीजर के लिए, और वो टेस्ट में अभी सेक्शन 1, सेक्शन 2, सेक्शन 3 एंड सेक्शन 4 है. बट कंडीशन रखी है कि सेक्शन 1 में आपको मिनिमम 5 मार्क्स तो होने ही चाहिए. उसके बाद ही में 5 मार्क्स नहीं है तो आपके क्वेश्चन नंबर 2, 3, 4 चेक ही नहीं होंगे, सेक्शन 2, 3, 4 चेक ही नहीं होंगे, डायरेक्टली आप डिस्क्वालीफाई हो जाओगे. सो अगर ये सिनारियो है तो उसमें कंपनी क्या स्ट्रेटेजी अप्लाई करेगी? कंपनी विल फर्स्ट आस्क इवेल्युएटर टू इवेल्युएट ओनली क्वेश्चन नंबर 1. पहले सभी इवेल्युएटर को वो क्या बोलेंगे कि पहले क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 चेक करके दे दो. So that is a question number 1 will be checked by each and every evaluator, each and every teacher for all the answer books. Number 2, then question number 3, and then question number 4. So this is the method, that is the agenda parallelism. This is repeated, all the answers, all the questions in all the paper are graded. So that is agenda parallelism. What is the advantage over here? So this is a data parallelism technique, and dynamic scheduling is there, and tasks are divided fine grain. ग्रेन क्यों है? क्योंकि आप टीचर को कितने टास्क दे रहे हो इंडिविजुअली, आप हेड एग्जामिनर इंडिविजुअल टीचर्स को कितनी आंसर बुक असाइन, एक ही आंसर बुक. So task is divided into fine grain. So fine grain division is there. So fine grain task division is there. And what is the disadvantage? Not good, as यहाँ पे आप it might be possible that your grains are too small. So synchronization में ज्यादा problem होगा यहाँ पे, as well as all the other disadvantages, like if your head examiner will go for the coffee, so it is not that much fault tolerant like that. But यहाँ पे bubble का problem नहीं होगा. Bubble problem is not there. If your particular answer, a particular question is not answered by many students, तो वो जल्दी check हो जाएगा. वो question number 1 है, वो बहुत ज़्यादा जल्दी में check हो जाएगा. So that is a bubble problem is not there at all over here in method number 8. And waiting time for teacher to receive a paper to grade may exceed a time to correct it. क्योंकि आपका जो हेड एग्जामिनर है, जो जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 को चेक करने के लिए सपोज 2 ही मिनट लगते हैं, बट उसको क्या करना होगा, हेड एग्जामिनर के पास जाना होगा, वो आंसर बुक लेनी होगी, फिर वापस वो आंसर बुक हैंड ओवर करनी होगी. सो इफ द टाइम इज मोर as compared to checking the particular answer, then this method will not suitable. So that is a disadvantage, or you can say that. So this is summary of all the methods which we have learned, method number 1 to method number 8. And this is a chart. This is a chart for all the 8 methods. All methods are, you can say that this is, we are learning right now parallel processing. So generally method are broadly classified into temporal processing as well as data processing. Temporal processing also known as pipelining. And इसकी जो दोनों की combination वाली method है, that is only one method. Method number 3, that is a hybrid method, which is combination of this both. So now let's start. And these methods are again classified in fine grain and coarse grain. Fine grain means we will divide, we will assign one answer book, or you can say that small chunks. And coarse grain means bulk. Bulk में आप उसको assign करोगे. So again, temporal parallelism is again classified into fine grain and coarse grain. Same way, data parallelism, fine grain and coarse grain. So now let's start from the method number 1 itself. Method number 1 में हमने क्या किया था? So method number 1, all the teachers are there. Teacher number 1, teacher number 2, teacher number 3 are there. Individual answer books, answers will be checked by individual teacher. So ऐसे individual answer book आपकी पास होगी. So that is a fine grain. And there will be no buffer. यहाँ पे buffer नहीं था. So no buffer between the pipeline stages is there. Then method number 2 is data parallelism. Method number 2 में हम क्या कर रहे थे? आपकी जो आंसर बुक्स थी वो हमने डिवाइड की थी 250 सेट में. And then 250 आंसर बुक्स आर असाइंड टू इंडिविजुअल टीचर्स. So that is bulk में आप इसको असाइन कर रहे हो 250 and 250. So that is over here. So that is a static assignment. So static assignment था वो. Static assignment method number 2. Method number 3 is hybrid. So method number 3 is hybrid. Method number 4, that is a dynamic assignment. So उसमें क्या था? हेड एग्जामिनर हमने इंट्रोड्यूस किया था. हेड एग्जामिनर आपके इंडिविजुअल टीचर्स को एक एक आंसर बुक ही असाइन करेगा. one answer book will be assigned to your individual teachers, and teacher will check all the answers. Teachers कौन से आंसर्स चेक करेंगे? सो टीचर्स जो है वो चेक करेंगे all the answers. Teacher number 2, teacher number 3 as well as teacher number 4. So all the answers will be checked by assign answer books, in assign answer books. So that is a fine grain assignment method. ये जो method number 4 है वो कौन सी method होगी? fine grain की. So fine grain assignment method, and that is a dynamic scheduling, क्योंकि आप dynamically assign कर रहे थे. So that is a dynamic scheduling. Next method में हम क्या कर रहे थे? यहाँ पे हम method number 5 में हमने क्या किया था? one answer books we will not assign, we will assign bulk. So यहाँ पे 5, यहाँ पे suppose इसको 9, यहाँ पे suppose इसको 11, suppose इसको 13 answer books assign करेंगे. And then that bulk answer book will be checked by your particular teacher. So that is a coarse grain. Bulk में आप उसको assign करोगे. So and that is assignment is known as Q-side dynamic scheduling. So that is a method number 5 over here. Then method number 6 में हमने क्या किया था? Specialize. Head examiner particular teacher को answer book assign करेगा, but अब वो particular teacher क्या करेगा? सिर्फ answer number 1 will be checked by teacher number 1. Answer number 2 will be checked by teacher number 2. Like that. Teacher number 3 will check only answer number 3, and same way. So इसको हम एक एक पेपर ही assign करेंगे. We will assign only one paper to individual teacher. So that is a fine grain assignment and dynamic scheduling. So that is a method number 6, and that is known as specialist fine grain or dynamic assignment data parallelism technique. Next, method number 7. Method number 7 that we have seen recently. आज हमने डिस्कस की मेथड नंबर 7 में हमने क्या किया था? There is a buffer between pipeline stages. So हमने क्या किया? जो अब हम क्या करेंगे? टीचर्स को सर्कल में बिठा दिया हमने. Teacher 1, teacher 2, teacher 3 and teacher 4. We have assigned them in circle. So यहाँ पे कोई head examiner नहीं होगा. There will be no any head examiner. We are assigning it individually. So पहली 250 आंसर बुक इसको असाइन करेंगे. अब इसको 250 आंसर बुक असाइन करेंगे. That's why it is a coarse grain. It is a coarse grain because we are assigning it to bulk. So that is a 250 आंसर बुक्स. So हर एक टीचर को पहले 250 आंसर असाइन करेंगे और फिर उसके बाद यहाँ पे क्या होगा बफर. So ये बफर का यूज करके हम इन ट्रे एंड आउट ट्रे का यूज करके हम वहां पे कम्युनिकेट करेंगे between teachers once the given set will be evaluated. So that is a buffer between pipeline stages and that is a method number 7. Specialist, यहाँ पे भी क्या होगा आपके जो टीचर्स होंगे वो स्पेशलिस्ट होंगे. It will check only given answers only, given question only. So that is a specialist technique. It is a temporal technique. And last one, that is a agenda parallelism. So agenda parallelism में क्या करेंगे हम head examiner आपके individual teachers को टीचर नंबर 1, टीचर नंबर 2, टीचर नंबर 3 जो टीचर्स होंगे वो हर एक टीचर को आंसर बुक्स असाइन करेंगे. कितनी आंसर बुक असाइन करेंगे? 1 असाइन करेंगे. That's why it is a fine grain. Why it is a fine grain? Because we are assigning only 1. And what teacher 1 will do? कौन सा क्वेश्चन इवेल्युएट करेगा? क्वेश्चन नंबर 1, क्वेश्चन नंबर 1, क्वेश्चन नंबर 1. हर एक टीचर है वो पहले कौन सा क्वेश्चन चेक करेगा? क्वेश्चन नंबर 1. So that is agenda method. So method is dynamic assigning. यहाँ पे हम assignment से करते हैं. How we are assigning it? Dynamic scheduling is there. So is it clear? This all 8 methods. Do you have any doubt in these 8 methods? Do you have any question in these 8 methods? These are the 8 methods. All methods are having their own advantages and disadvantages. That can be, you can have numeric examples based on some methods. Speed up क्या होगा? Efficiency क्या होगी? So based on the logic, you have to think it and you have to apply, you have to calculate it. Speed up, efficiency, calculation can be there, examples can be there. So वो आपको check करने होंगे speed up के और efficiency के examples. You have to do it. Okay. If time permits, then I will explain 1 or 2 examples. अगर टाइम होगा तो मैं आपको 1 या 2 एग्जांपल आपको एक्सप्लेन करूंगा. And today's wherever we are stopping right now. So यहाँ से ही हम start करेंगे. In today's lab session, we are going to discuss this. We are going to complete this chapter because in our lab session there is only one experiment is remaining. Lab session में हमारे पास एक ही experiment बाकी है and that is Fibonacci, or you can say that is a recursion वाला program जो implement कैसे होता है. That we have already seen in theory class. First session में हमने